Morning is almost 6 o'clock. I'm looking at my clock and I'm waiting for it basically to strike 6. It is 6 o'clock. So, good morning. Good morning, world. It's 6 o'clock and it is day 2. I am just going to put my phone on silent, which I really hope that you will do as well. There we go. Phone on silent. So we won't be disturbed on this end. And I really recommend that you do the same for this and really for any group that you're participating in, because that's how you're going to get the absolute most out of everything, is that you focus your attention on what you're doing. Right? I love that term, laser focus. So we focus our attention on what it is that we're working on at the time. And so here we are, and it is day 2 on, yours is probably color, on the 5 days on the path to success, which is our free coaching group. And I'm just waiting for some people to participate. I know that there's people registered for today. And so waiting for some people to join in. I know it's 6 o'clock in the morning and that's early, but it's a time to get started for the day. The earlier you start, the more you get done. That's just how it is. So I like to get a lot done in my day. And I know that when you have goals, then the more you can get done, the better. So let's get going. I know that there's a misconception that when you have a successful business that you have to spend, every waking moment on that business, and that's just not true. What you can do is you can organize your time so that you spend the time wisely. So if you get up early, you can organize your time and do the things that you want to do on your business, and get an hour in, get 2 hours in, 3 hours, whatever it is that you want or need to do for that day. And then you can also organize your time so you can do some things with your family, or you can do some things for yourself, do some things with your friends. And that's what I like to be able to do. So here we are. And I have today a chipped cup, but I'm going to tell you why, because it is a Winnie the Pooh Tigger mug that belongs to my daughter. And so I just cannot part with it. So here it is. That's my mug for the day. And I just have hot water today, which is also lovely. All right. So let me see. What time is it? All right. We're going to get cracking. So what we are going to be doing today is we're going to talk about the emotions that get in the way. Yesterday, we talked about meditating on your goal, and I really hope that everyone spent a little bit of time last night on the homework, which was visualizing yourself in the life that you want. So if you were successful, hopefully successful in seeing what it is that you want during your meditation, and if not, that's okay, because maybe you're having a little trouble with that. When we have some emotions in the way, it can be difficult to see exactly what it is that we want. And that's all right. We will make sure that by the end of this group, by the end of our time working together, you will have that opportunity to know exactly what it is that you want. So right now, what you're going to be able to do is take that information and continue to build on it. So we're going to do another meditation, but today we're going to meditate on what might be stopping you, or at least try right now in the beginning. We're going to try and just get in touch with feelings, because sometimes people are not in touch with feelings and they don't even know how anymore to feel. They're afraid to feel. Feelings have become some big scary thing because they hurt. And people can have numbed out rather than feel bad feelings. They would rather feel no feelings. And oh, there's somebody here right now. So hi. So in order to make sure that that's just not what's going on, that you're not just numbing out to your feelings. Let's see if I can say hi, first of all. I have to practice at this to see if we can not numb out to the feelings. Then we're going to get to a place where we can be very comfortable with those. And then beyond that, move to a place where we can actually get to moving past them as obstacles. We don't want the feelings to be obstacles because they can get in the way, right? They can definitely be in the way of what it is we're trying to achieve. And that is not helpful. So let's start with a meditation. And that's probably what we're going to start with every day of the week. So we're going to start with a meditation. So if you're ready, we can do that right now. And let's get comfortable. So first of all, I have myself surrounded here by some pillows. And just like I said yesterday, if you are lying down, then I'm going to ask that you do what you want, but I'm going to ask that you sit up, because if you're lying down at 6 a.m, the chances are good you're going to fall right back asleep. So get yourself comfy, get some pillows, get a blanket or whatever, but then sit up and have a nice straight back. Put your hands up so that you're ready to receive, and take a nice big breath in through your nose and out. Just allow your eyes to close. Just allow your shoulders to drop. We're just going to do a brief meditation to just connect. So just connect to your body, drop down into your body. Breathing in, breathing out. Just allowing any distractions, any distracting thoughts just to pass. Breathing in, breathing out. Again, breathing in, breathing out. And just let that little space between your eyes just relax and soften. And your jaw, relax and soften. Breathing in and breathing out. Take another big breath in. And just allow yourself to think of your future goal. Bring to mind the future goals, things that you want to achieve, all those dreams that you have, maybe things that came to mind yesterday, things that maybe you've been dreaming of before yesterday, goals that you have for your future. And notice any stories that come to mind. Notice any thoughts that come to mind. Maybe thoughts about what you can't do. Thoughts that might run along the lines of, that's impossible. Those dreams are too big. What makes you think you can do that? Who do you think you are? Notice any thoughts that come up, any panic, stress. About your future goals. Think of any conversations you may have had about those goals and dreams. Thinking of any thoughts that come up just as you're about to take an action or do a task towards one of those thoughts or goals or dreams. Just notice in your body whether you're feeling any tension or stress, any anxiety. And find where that might be. Is it in your head or your throat, your chest? And just breathe into it. As you think about your goal, your dream, and achieving those things in the future, notice if there's any conversations from the past that come up. Anything that you might have heard someone say, something you've been told. Listen for that thought. Listen for that conversation. Have you achieved something or tried to achieve something in the past? And been told something about it? Have you told yourself something about it? Listen for those thoughts. And notice the feelings and emotions around those, the thoughts from the past. Is there anxiety or fear, doubt, stress or panic? And where is that in your body? Is it your head or your throat, your chest, your stomach? Just find it, notice it, and breathe into it. Big breath in and out. Big breath in and out. And just focus your attention on any tension or stress, tightness anywhere in your body. If your shoulders are tight, let them fall. Wherever you have any tension or tightness, bring your breath to that place. And just breathe in and out. Bring your breath to that place, breathing into that place directly. If the tightness is in your chest, breathe in through your chest and out. If it's in your stomach, breathe in all the way to your stomach and out. Wherever you have that tightness, just breathe in directly and out. And just say thank you to this observer. This authentic part of you that's paying attention on your behalf. Thank you for its awareness, mindfulness. And with gratitude, we'll bring ourselves back to this moment, to where you sit now in meditation, in the present. Releasing the stress and anxiety, breathing in and breathing out, feeling a sense of relaxation, returning to the present moment to slowly open your eyes. Okay, so wonderful. And that is a mindfulness meditation that is really helpful in finding our observer. And the observer is a part of you that is actually our essential, authentic self. It's that part of you that is watchful, that is mindful, and that is able to record for us the things that are going on around us at all times that we might not be taking in because we are too distracted. But we can get back to that observer, and that observer is able to help us gain very important information. So anytime we want to do a meditation where we need to take care of something and to center and be compassionate, we can use this mindfulness technique of the observer, where we just tune in and take a step back. And we're asking a scanning observer to be recording for us and reporting for us what's happening with our body. And it's from a safe place. So we asked ourselves a few questions there. What are we thinking and what are we feeling? What were we thinking and what were we feeling about our goals? Goals that we've tried to achieve now, that we will be trying to achieve now, and goals that we've tried to achieve in the past. And hopefully what we've gained is a little bit of information about some of our thought processes and some of our emotional processes that stand in our way. So some of the things that are really common that come up for us are those types of thoughts, thoughts of doubt and fear and stress and anxiety. And so what do we do with them is really the next question, because it's fine to know that we have them. And the next thing is, well, what do we do with them? So one of the things that I did during that meditation was I talked about now and I talked about the past. And one thing that might be interesting during the exercise is that the similarity between what's happening now, the thoughts and feelings that you're having now, and the places that they reside in your body might be extremely familiar to thoughts and feelings and the places that they're residing in your body to things that you've had in the past. So when you're having any struggles now in trying to achieve your goals, it's very likely because you've experienced something previously where you've had an opportunity to achieve and it's been thwarted, either thwarted by yourself or thwarted by someone else's interference, either intentionally or unintentionally. And so that gets in the way. So what we want to do is clear all that stuff out of the way, because there's no reason to take anything from the past forward if we don't have to, other than what we choose, right? We can choose what we want to take, and certainly there's a lot of lessons that are amazing things for us to hold on to and carry forward. And then there are some things that we learned that were unnecessary for us to hold on to. and just basically untrue, and that don't serve us in any way whatsoever. And so we can decide if we want to take those things forward or not. And so there's a process that we can go through of questioning that is a really useful process. And Byron Katie is the name of wonderful, wonderful coach and mentor. And you can find her work, and it's basically exactly that's what it's called, is The Work, online and in books and podcasts and all over the place on the internet. And she has a series of questions, and I'm going to borrow from some of them and modify the concept and do just a little bit of that work here. It's not her full program, obviously, but the concept of questioning what comes up is just such a simple, effective tool that you can use anywhere, anytime. And I'm going to ask that you write down, because I believe writing down is an extremely powerful tool. When we know that when we write things, not even just type things, but when we write things, it is much more effective in making change, in keeping things in our memory. And so I do ask that people write things down. But even when we're not writing these things down, just having these questions in our mind and being able to ask ourselves to draw on these questions at any time when we experience some of these things coming up for us is a really wonderful tool to have in our arsenal, because it can quickly deflate some of those balloons of doubt and shame that we carry around that get in the way, those emotional things that get in the way of our success. So, so let's dive in and do some of these things. So when you are starting to feel some of these things get in the way, so you will notice, if you're paying attention, which is key, is to be paying attention to yourself. You will notice that you will be concocting stories. So when you are trying to do something, and whether we're working together here or we're working together personally, one-on-one, when we're trying to achieve something and you feel resistance, notice the resistance. So notice, I want to make this next step in my progress, and I feel resistance. Okay, well, that's an important point for you to stop and ask yourself a question. So the first question might be, what story am I telling myself right now? So hopefully you have some paper right now. I know we talked about this book that I sent out, and I showed this, I think, before some joining happened, but this is the one that was sent out yesterday. And yesterday's exercise we already talked about, and we talked a bit about at the beginning, right at 6 o'clock. And then today's exercise is day 2, emotions in the way, what I see, what I want, what comes up for me. So that's sort of what we're trying to talk about right now. So there's some paper here. There's a paper on the back. You might even need more paper, and that's okay. But when you have something that happens, that you have that resistance, so you have your goal, you're trying to do something towards that goal, whatever it might be, make a phone call or post something, or whatever your relationship goals are. I don't want to be too specific because everybody has different goals. But let's say it's somebody who's working on a business and you have to make a client call and you're afraid. You don't want to make the client call because you're just afraid. So what is coming up for you? Or you have to, you're in a relationship and you know you need to reach out to your partner, but you don't trust yourself or the relationship. You're afraid. So what is coming up for you? What story are you telling yourself, right? So write that down. What story am I telling myself right now? Because that is a key question. That I don't want you to write down the story, write down the question. What story am I telling myself right now? Keep that question always in the back of your mind, because that's what we do. We tell ourselves these stories. So what story is my mind concocting in this moment? All right, that's what we're doing. We're concocting a story. So when you think about it, when you think about what action do I have to take, or what am I seeing in front of me? What am I hearing someone say to me? What am I interpreting from the circumstances around me? And now I'm feeling something. I'm feeling shame. I'm feeling doubt. I'm feeling fear. I'm feeling anger. I'm feeling something that doesn't serve me well. What story am I telling myself right now? That's your first question. Okay. And then, so start there. Start with that question. The next question is it true? Okay. So we just did that meditation, and you will have had, I think, some things come up for you in that meditation. So when you thought of your goal and I asked you, what are you feeling about it? What thoughts are you having? What thoughts did you have? Did you have thoughts like, I can't do this? This isn't for me. It's too big for me. I don't achieve things. I'm not good enough. I don't deserve it. It's never happened before. Why should I believe it now? Those kinds of thoughts. What thought did you have? So take a minute and write down what thoughts you had. What did come up for you? Okay, and I'm going to give you a minute to do that. I should have music. Ding, 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 ding. But what thoughts did you have? Okay, so I'm going to assume that you have that written down. And the next question then would be, is it true? So whatever it is that you have just written, is it true? So that thought that came up, is it actually true? So you may probably do at the present believe it's true, but is it actually true? So can we absolutely know that it's true? Can you absolutely know that it's true? And so says who? Right? So that thought you wrote down, is it true? Can you absolutely know it's true? And when you're trying to make that decision, says who? So is it something that you just were told and that now you believe? Is it just an assumption? Can you know it beyond any doubt? So just take a moment and think about that, consider that, and write your thoughts on that. I'm going to assume you're all done. So the next question would be, how do you react if you believe it's true? Right? So how is your assumption covering up who you really are. So if you believe that that's true, whatever it is, whatever that was, if you, let's say you believe I can never achieve it. Well, how do you react then if you believe that's true? And how is that going to cover up who you actually are, who you really are, who you really can be? So just think about that question in the context of what your answers are, and write that out. And the third question, how would you behave if you actually let go of that belief? Imagine who you would be without that belief. That's something to spend a lot of time thinking about. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time now, but that's actually your homework, is imagine who you would be if you let go of that belief. So the stories that you tell yourself right now when you think of achieving your goal, or all the negative stories that you tell yourself right now, who would you be if you let go of that belief? All of those beliefs. Imagine who you would be. So take just a minute now, and then that's your homework for today, is to really spend time in that. And the last question for today would be, if you have finally let go of all of that, you really do need to replace it with. So what are you going to replace it with? So if you take away all of those negative things and you can imagine who you're going to be, then what kinds of thoughts can you replace those negative thoughts with? So instead of all of those I'm not enough thoughts, maybe a thought like I have so much potential would be another thought that you could replace it with. One of my favorite thoughts, whenever I have those kinds of doubt moments to replace with, is if they can do it, I can do it. Right? And I always want my clients to know that if I can do it, they can do it. Right? If I can achieve, they can achieve. If I can be happy, they can be happy. And I use that all the time. I wasn't always here, but I got here because if they can do it, I can do it. And anytime there's something that I want ahead of me, I look and see who's done it already. If they can do it, I can do it. So that's one of the thoughts that I use. But you find something inspiring for you. I have so much potential. It's such a different thought than I haven't done it yet. I've never done it yet. Well, so what? You have so much potential to do it. You will do it. So reframing is an amazing tool. And find reframes that you can be passionate about and believe. So if I can do it, they can do it. And I have so much potential. Or just a couple. So those are some amazing questions. And one of the things that I also mentioned in the meditation, and I'm not sure if you noticed, that I said, be grateful. Be grateful for some of those thoughts, because really, self-doubt is something that isn't trying to harm us, believe it or not. We were given all of those, negative thoughts are there as a gift originally. They don't feel like a gift now, but they were there to keep us safe at one point in our lives. They were there to keep us on a path of safety so that we didn't become hurt either emotionally or physically. So there was a time in our life when we really needed to feel very secure, where if we strayed off of some very small little limited path, we would be very hurt and we were helpless to protect ourselves from that. And we had to live this small little life, because if we didn't, there were very severe repercussions, either for our safety physically or our survival. And so we learned that really well. All of those negative things to keep us small and on that small little narrow path of life started from that. But we don't need to stay small. We can be extraordinary. We can be as big as we like now. We're all grown up and we're able to take care of ourselves. We can take risks. We can be big. We can live a life that's full and rich. And it's our choice if we live an extraordinary life or a limited life. So we can blow all of those things out of the water now if we choose to. And we do. I choose to, and you choose to. You wouldn't be here listening to this. You wouldn't want to work with me if you didn't want to have an extraordinary life. So I know you do. So I'm happy for that. I'm excited for that. At the same time, those things were at one time in our life trying to help. So we don't need to be bitter and resentful about them. They were there to protect us. So that's why we can be compassionately grateful for all of the stuff that we're trying really hard to change. And it's through relaxing and accepting that, instead of fighting, that we get there much more easily. Fighting just creates more negative energy. And that focus on fight is all we're going to have. I don't want to spend my life focused on fighting. I want to spend my life happy and relaxed and successful. And I know that's what you want to. So instead of fighting against it, I'm going to be happy and grateful that it protected me when I needed it. And now I'm going to change it. And so are you. So that's day 2. And your homework, like I said, is to focus on how you are going to see yourself now without having that attachment to a negative view of yourself. So once you release the belief that you are what you've concocted as true, then what does that free you up for? A lot, right? A lot. So spend time on that. And from yesterday, you're going to still continue yesterday's work, which was meditating on your goal in the morning and visualizing yourself in that picture of that life every evening before you go to sleep. Okay. So I'm looking forward to the next part, which is day 3, and that's writing a love letter to your goal. And I think that's something that some of us have done already, but that's okay, because love letters are beautiful, and you can write as many love letters in as many different ways as possible. And that's tomorrow. So emotions on your way. is tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to that. So I will see you, I think, tomorrow. I hope tomorrow. And much love.